Hello and welcome to the Deep End. Today, episode 178, we're actually coming to you from Alaska, but we're going to be giving you some tips and tricks on if you're building or renovating a pool now, things you can do to put yourself in a better position down the road with your tile and your electrical.
Tested the water, but what does it mean? Take a dive into the deep end.
Hey friends, welcome to the Deep End with
Frank
and Jackie, his sidekick in life and on the air.
We're about to get on a cruise.
We are.
So we will be on a boat or in Juneau or Ketchikan or Sitka or...
We're not stopping at Ketchikan. You don't even know where we're going. He has no clue. He has no clue. He's just getting on the plane, y'all. That's what I do. I make everything happen, which is why I'm like, ah! And tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you people out there.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Our mothers who
have mothers,
mothers in heaven, all the things.
It's going to be a crazy trip, though. We got one day we're doing, I think it's called otters and raptors and bears. Oh my! That's one of our excursions.
Sea otters, raptors, and bears. Oh my! Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Jackie's always a little worried because I always said that my life dream is to get just close enough to a grizzly.
And if you're listening, Rachel, he was close. He was close in North Carolina.
But that was a black bear. That wasn't a grizzly.
Oh, true.
So I want to get just close enough to a grizzly to where when it swings at me, it just leaves a really bad scar on my cheek. So anytime I catch somebody looking at this horrible scar on my cheek, I can go, Grizz. And
is that the dumbest thing you ever heard?
Oh, I'd be the biggest BA on the planet, you know? It's like I survived a grizzly, yeah. So I just... the whole trip up there, I'm going to be, I'm going to be calculating just how close can you get to a grizzly.
Y'all be watching because, that's one day. Then one day we're taking the train up in the mountains. We're seeing all the Anu Husky dogs, all the puppy dogs.
Oh, yeah.
But, they're like...
Sled dogs.
Everywhere you go, they're like, beware of bears. They're just like, because you got your...
Bears better beware of me.
Y'all pray for me.
Jackie may be coming home with a really small casket, just the remains.
And y'all, I'll just do this by myself and have no knowledge of pools whatsoever. I'll just ask all your questions and go. Okay. Does anybody out there know about this?
Just go find a young, sexy pool guy to stand in for me.
No, you're the last one. No, baby, no. You're it.
Sorry,
for me.
Pool guys, I ruined it for all of you.
I'm out. It's done. It's out.
Lord, we're heading out on Mother's Day, which is unfortunate.
Well, we didn't, when we booked this far in advance, which was like a year and a half or whatever it is, because we booked so far to get all the...
Because this is actually our anniversary trip.
Yeah, this is our anniversary trip. Our daughter does this, and she tells us to do the next cruise, all the things. And so I didn't think to look in May. What day is Mother's Day 2025? My kids are livid. They're just like so upset with me. Yeah. I did Mother's Day with my mama on Thursday. And then yesterday I had I had to do some things.
We're that family people make fun of in memes.
Yeah. That's it.
That I just say, all right, what airport, what time, and she handles all the rest of it. I don't pack. I don't do anything. The night before we leave, she's like, "Oh, all right, you got to try on some things because
I need you to do these 3 things."
Because I'm the incredible expanding man. I go up and down and up and down.
It's supposed to rain every single day. And so I got out his rain, and they might be rain, snowy, kind of whatever. And there is snow in Alaska right now. And he goes, "You're not taking snow boots, are you?" And I'm like, "Those are your rain boots?" Because we're literally going whale watching in Juneau, and it's 110% chance of rain on the water. We're going to get drenched. And I'm like, okay, you can't wear your hay dudes, man. You can't wear your hay dudes.
Watch me.
Watch
me.
No, those, you ain't taking, no, we're not even taking hay dudes.
We got great people in place to handle things
We do,
while we're gone,
and we're so thankful for that. Shout out to our retail manager who is now managing 4 stores.
Yeah.
Because we now have 4 stores. Tawny, who her birthday, I want to shout out to her.
Yeah, her birthday
Her
was this
birthday
week.
was Thursday.
And our new partner, Robbie, he's
working his
he's a little bit overwhelmed.
Well,
maybe a little bit overwhelmed. A lot going on, taking over new stories, pretty new to industry. He's not new to business, but he's very new to this industry.
He's a business guru, but both of y'all were like, yeah, May 1st, blah, blah, blah. All the... Y'all.
It's okay with me.
You don't even know, all the banking stuff, all the tax stuff, all the thing. And so, in moving a store from one to... Y'all.
We're going to try to make this a quick show today.
What you want to talk about, because we're going into a big season.
Yes,
Yeah.
got a lot going on. There's been a lot coming up about, a lot of people are doing renovations and stuff like that right now in the DFW Pool Owner Group. A lot of people looking for people to renovate. And by the way, we do renovations. If anybody sees this and you're in the DFW area, wanting to get your pool renovated, we'd be more than happy to
We
get
have
you a quote.
customers that are on service that got their pool renovated by somebody else because they didn't know we
didn't
did.
know we did renovations.
So y'all,
even though we put it on the invoices. But anyway, that's on the renovations. One of the things that I keep thinking, and I keep wanting to remind people, hey, if you're getting your tile redone, and I don't care what tile you choose. I mean, there's reasons to go with glass. There's reasons not to go with glass. I've always liked a solid 6-inch tile because the less joints you have, the less mortar joints you have, the less chance you have of failure. So I like big, solid 6-inch pieces of tile, and typically waterline tile is 6-inch. But whether you go with 1-inch or 3x3s or 2x3s or whatever you go with, well, I want you to really consider asking for maybe a couple extra boxes of the tile. The tile is not
100%.
Yeah, the tile is not the expensive part of redoing tile on a swimming pool. The labor, because guys, these are artisans. These, I understand some people have gotten tile that looks like crap. I mean, the job was horrible. But a good tile guy is an artist. He really is. He's a highly skilled individual. And that's where all the money goes when you're going to redoing tile. Well, that and labor of chip off and stuff like that. The tile is not that expensive. So ask for a couple extra boxes of this tile. And there's a few reasons for this.
It's like asking for another gallon of paint, or
it's like you get your house painted. Hey, can I have a couple? Can I have a gallon extra for touch up or a quart or whatever?
Yeah.
If you ever have any damage to any tile for whatever reason,
it's just in case.
Yes, you have that tile handy. You're not trying to take off the tile that was on there that's damaged and repurpose it or reuse it. You can go with brand new tile.
Sure.
But something I think a lot of people don't really think about is, all right, so this tile is like the highlight of the swimming pool. It really is. That's the beauty ring around the swimming pool. You have a nice coping. Okay, that's typically a pretty consistent color going all the way around the pool, but all the beauty is in this tile. All right, so maybe you can get creative after the pool is done, and you know what? We're putting in an outdoor kitchen now, or you're putting in a fire pit or something like that, or anything, or you're getting a table that you're going to be setting out in either on the patio or out by the pool. All right, you can use this tile to bring the colors of the pool from the pool to other areas and kind of make it flow. So you can like tile the top of a table. You can tile planters, the outside of planters. You can just get
beautiful.
extra tile. There's a lot of things you can do with this tile. You may want to do a raised deck area later, or anything you want to do. If you have this extra tile, you can extend that color and that pattern from the pool to that area. Because a lot of times people is like, hey, this is our budget. This is all we can afford to do.
Sure.
We can't do an outdoor kitchen right now. We can't do the extra seating area, which is a reason I like doing pavers. By the way, you can go minimum deck when you build the pool, and then you can expand upon that. And if you're doing pavers, there's a really good chance you can match the color of the deck. Because if you pour concrete and you're trying to match concrete to concrete, stained, printed, whatever, good luck. Because concrete changes color as it ages. So if you do a paver, you can pretty much, if you do 200 or 300 square feet around the pool today, and then, okay, next year in our budget, we can do an extra 500 square feet. We can do the sitting area. We can do a fire pit or this outdoor kitchen or whatever. You can extend that deck and make it look consistent from the pool deck into that area. Now, if you have the tile that you can do highlights on columns or planters and stuff like that, you can continue this color pattern. And because the tile is the pretty thing on the pool. It's prettier than the plaster. It's prettier than the coping. It's prettier than the deck. And if you've fallen in love with this tile, and this is the tile you have to have on your pool, okay, let's bring it in. Because if you wait 5-6 years, like, okay, let's go get that same tile and we're going to do this area with it or do some highlights with it, good luck. Because a lot of these tile manufacturers, they understand you're going to be redoing tile later. They don't want you to fix. They want you to replace all the tile. So they want you to not have a choice. They want you to have to say, well, crap, we're going to have to redo the entire pool if we're going to do some tile over here or whatever. We're not going to be able to repair because we can't match exactly. So most of these tile, what would you wouldn't call it brands, you would call it the lines or whatever. It's going to be different 4 or 5 years from now. And a lot of times, if you get tile from batch to batch, if you bought tile today, that came in on this shipment today, a couple pallets of this exact tile, and 6 months or a year from now, they're still making that tile, but you know what? Them dyes have changed a little bit. And now the colors are just a little bit different, and it doesn't match up perfectly. I've seen this time and time again from box to box. The colors can change. So that's something I want you to consider if you're doing any tile work or doing anything like that, or if you've recently had your pool built or remodeled. Go get that tile now, put it away. You don't have to mess with it. Put it somewhere. Put it in the attic. I don't care where you put it. Just get have it on hand. So if you ever need to do any renovation or repair work, or you're expanding your outdoor living area, you have this tile on hand, and make sure it matches. Make sure it matches before you just put your money on it. Make sure it matches really well. And so now you can extend that into your living areas, outdoor kitchens, and all that. So we are going to go to break. And when we come back, I got a couple other little things we're going to talk about. And here's a message from our sponsors. You got BluRay XL. Got Cyclone Filter Tools, See You Later, State Eliminator. We got Fluidra, makers of Jandy Pool Products and Polaris Pool Products, and Poolworks. If there's not a Poolworks near you, become the Poolworks near you. We'll see you in a minute.
What does it mean? Take a dive into the deep end. What? The pool's a mess, and the water is green. tested the water, but what does it mean? Take a dive into the deep end.
Hey friends, welcome back to the Deep End with Frank and Jackie. We're talking about just some things to get you ready for this season or remodeling. Remodeling if you're in the market.
Yeah, really just some ideas. Some ideas that if you'll do it today, it may save you some problems and make things easier down the road. We just talked about, make sure you get extra tile. You can even do the same thing with coping. If you got some kind of crazy coping, because I'm telling you, all them rocks that come out of Oklahoma flagstone don't look alike.
Some of the dialots.
So maybe get a few extra pieces, put them away somewhere. If you're doing a travertine, you can typically get fairly close, and the colors blend so much in travertine. You get some, like if you get light walnut, you're going to have pieces in your light walnut that are darker than dark walnut.
Right.
If you get dark walnut, you're going to have some pieces in your dark walnut that are lighter than light walnut. So those can, you can mix and match. And typically a good mason, when they're laying travertine, when it has these different mixes, they know to break it up. To where you don't get a long run of dark and then a little run of white or
and
light.
And then one lighter.
They know to break it up. So, so it looks, patchy, like a calico cat, like it belongs like that. So maybe even get a few extra pieces of coping. If you're getting pavers, maybe get a few extra, pieces of paver, especially if you're doing like the French pattern. I think they call it French still, where you got this size square, this size square, this size rectangle, this size rectangle, just all these different size pieces. Maybe get a few pieces just in case you get a couple that are, break. I know we did one in the clients, we did it in Coppell. And the client wanted, oh my gosh, this little piece is chipped. Hey, look, we're going to let this run. Let's run a season on it. Then we're going to come back. We're going to replace all the pieces that, may have cracked or whatever, or chipped a little bit too much, because, natural stone chips. That's what natural stone do.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it's not going to be a cut tile. It's going to...
And it's outside in the elements.
Yes. It's going to hold up just as well on your back porch as it does in nature. You never seen a nice square mountain, have you? Well, that kind of got chipped off. But something else I want to talk about, kind of getting away from the stones and the tiles and things like that, is you want to prepare for expansion in the future. Like when you run your electrical, say you're running electrical across the house and you're going to have to set a sub panel, or you're just running a straight circuit over to feed your pull equipment. Go ahead and expand that. That to be able to handle much, much more, because you don't know what your ideas are going to be next year.
Sure.
You may want to put in a lighted tennis court or something. You're going to need extra power. Boy, it'd be so much easier if you already had a nice big sub panel right there over by your pull equipment that you could come out of, instead of having to run another giant circuit all the way across the house and pay for all that money again.
I'm scared for what might be pre-wired in our backyard. I'm scared. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, we could run another house back there. But one thing that really keeps coming up, and it's because we're doing this big sale on heat pumps, and these are inverter heat pumps, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But you know what? If you already had a sub panel sitting there, it's like, okay, heat pump costs a lot of money. We're stretching the budget a little bit just to get this pull in, because we're afraid the price is just going to keep going up and up and up. So we're going to go and get the pull in. But let's go and have the ability to just add a heat pump down the road if we wish. So maybe get an extra 50, 60 amps that are available for you to tap into. Because like right now, I got this great deal on these inverter heat pumps, and these things are 20 amp. That's all they are. Each one is 20 amps. It's the Raypack Crosswind heat pump, and they're heater chillers. So you can extend your season with them, to swim later in the year and start swimming earlier in the year. And in the middle of the summer, because here in North Texas, y'all, it gets friggin' hot. a lot of people will not use their pool from the last week of July all the way through August because that water is freaking 93, 94 degrees.
It's hot.
And it's just not comfortable. You know, if you're trying to cool off, you know, it's like you're mowing the yard. I'm going to go jump in the pool. Oh, heck no, man. It's hotter than it is. So it'd be nice if you could keep that pool chilled to, 89, 88 degrees, 87, whatever you like.
Sure.
So, but, maybe it's not in the budget this year. But, you know what? A lot of that cost, if you want to add it later, it's going to be a lot more to have another dedicated circuit ran from your main panel in your house across the house, through the attic or around in a ditch or whatever, and then drop down and set so you can have a disconnect for a heat pump. So you might want to go ahead and consider, all right, let's plan for expansion. I know when I used to be an electrician.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Do it just in case. Yeah.
And, I mean, what if you did an outdoor kitchen and, you want to get another 110 circuit, or you want to put in a nice, I don't know, a nice fridge or an ice maker or something like that. And now you're really stretching the circuit you got. So you might as well get it out there so you can add to it.
Sure.
When I was doing electrical work years ago, one of the things you had to do is you had a plan for expansion when you were wiring a house. You couldn't just wire it to, okay, this is the bare minimum it needs. No, you have to assume people are going to be changing their mind. The house is going to change hands.
I like
Other
that.
people are going to come in. They may want to, we don't like gas heat. We want electric heat. Or, I don't want a gas stove. I want an electric stove. Or,
You don't want to hear you're not wired for that.
Yeah.
You can't do. Think big.
Yeah. I mean, what if you decide
ahead.
you want to
Yeah.
add like a waterfall or something like
Yeah.
that? Or you can always drill through the side of the pool and do extra main drains or floor suctions or wall suctions to feed a pump, and you're going to do a waterfall. Well, I mean, if you don't have enough circuitry or enough amperage out there to manage that, okay, now you got to run another circuit too. So
Right.
go ahead and plan on that, because just plan for the expansion, and because you don't know what your idea is. What if you want to add a hot tub out there, a standalone hot tub? All right, that's 50 amps, 60 amps, some of them. So, you want to go ahead and get the ability to be able to do it without another huge expense in the electrical. Because it's a lot cheaper to run a bigger line once than it is to run two small lines twice.
Right.
So go ahead and prep for that. And something I want to talk about on these heat pumps. All right, guys, this is technology that apparently is being used in the rest of the world for a long time. And heat pumps, like our typical heat pump here in the U.S., it works like your air conditioner, the typical air conditioner does. It turns on, it cools to a certain temperature, then it turns off until it warms to a certain temperature, then it turns on, cools to a certain temperature, then turns off until it warms to a certain temperature. And whenever it turns on, it's full blast, cool as quick as you can, and then off. All right. What inverter technology does, and that's what these crosswind heat pumps do, is they'll run full blast to get you to temperature. Like if you're heating, say, it's late October, the water's a little cold, the water's at 75 degrees, and we want to take it up to 88 because we're going to have a nice sunny day, but the water's going to be a little warm.
Sure.
So you turn on your heat pump, and normal heat pump's going to turn on and just run until it gets the temperature. Then it's going to turn off until it cools to a certain temperature. And then it's going to turn on and run full blast. Well, an inverter heat pump, what it does is it will run at full speed until it gets you to temperature, and then it adjusts its speed to maintain that temperature. And just like a variable speed pump, on your water pumps, your filter pumps, we've talked about it before. If you run a pump at full speed, let's go it this way. If you run a pump at half speed, and it's a variable speed pump, all right, you're moving half the water that you are at full speed. All right, so you're getting half the output, but the electricity savings of moving half the water is like 8 to 10 times. If you go from half speed to full speed, you double the water movement, but your electricity usage is 8 to 10 times more. So it ends up costing a lot more to move each gallon of water. So it takes you twice as long to move that same amount of water at half speed, but your electricity savings is like 50-60% of if you ran it at full speed to move all that water in 8 hours. We'll take that, stretch it out over 16 hours with the variable speed pump. You just saved a bunch of money.
Sure, yeah.
You extended your filter cycle where you're running more hours of the day. You move just as much water. Your filter's happier with it because the water went through slower and it's able to catch smaller particles, and it saved you a bunch of electricity.
Sure.
Well, on these inverter heat pumps, they work very, very similarly. Once they get to temperature, and they do need to maintain temperature, and if you had a variable speed pump that you're running 24 hours a day, it can run that variable speed, that medium speed or low speed, whatever it needs to do to maintain that water temperature, whether it be hot or cold, if you're chilling or heating. It can run at that lower speed extremely efficiently. And now it's already a heat pump, so it's already much more efficient to heat water. It's just a slower process. But now if you can get it there and get that water temperature right where you want it, and then that heat pump, that inverter technology runs at a lower speed, you get to maintain that temperature at a much lower cost. So you went from huge savings by using a heat pump to huger, is that a word? Huger?
Bigger savings.
Bigger savings.
Bigger savings.
More savings by using the inverter technology. And so consider that if you're looking at a chiller or if you're looking at a heat pump. Now, I do want to always need to put this on, the qualify heat pump. If you're in an area like North Texas where we go from friggin' hot to dang, it's cold, if you got that huge extreme, well, when it's really cold outside, that heat pump ain't gonna do you much. Because what a heat pump does, it takes heat out of the atmosphere, out of the ambient air temperature around it. It takes that heat, it transfers that heat from the air to the water by use of Freon expansion and contraction of gases. So if you got really cold air, there's no heat to be had. So at really cold temperatures, a heat pump is not going to, if it's 30 degrees on Christmas morning and you got a heat pump and you think you're going to heat your pool, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Only a gas heater is going to do that for you.
Who goes swimming on Christmas morning?
Well, boy, I wouldn't mind it. If it's a nice day and all the kiddos are coming and they just want to go swimming. But what a lot of people in Texas like to do is, because ain't many of you from Texas. Most people in Texas come from somewhere else, and a lot of them come from New York and Michigan and Chicago and all these, Wisconsin and Chicago. And all these places where the Yetis live, and they move down here and they reach out to their family who's up there in 4 feet of snow in Green Bay, and they're like, "Hey, why don't y'all come down here for Christmas? We'll heat up the pool."
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's like going to Hawaii for Christmas." So the whole family packs up and they come on down here. And if you got a gas heater, you can make it happen.
Sure.
You can heat that pool up. You can do it. But if it's cold outside and you got a heat pump, you're going to have some disappointed relatives.
Shoot.
So,
but they're from Wisconsin, so they don't care.
Wisconsin.
They don't care.
I tell you what,
They'll jump into whatever.
I took Foster, our grandson. He was probably 3 years old. They were living in Madison, Wisconsin, and went up there and visited him. And I was like, "Hey, they got a splash pad." This is like late June. And I was like, "Hey, y'all got this big city splash pad over by the lake. They got this big, beautiful lake right next to downtown."
Yeah.
And so I take him over to the splash pad thinking, "Man, it's like 80 degrees outside. This is going to be really
comfortable." We were so excited. It was like...
That freaking water was... I swear there were ice cubes in it.
I know.
Coming out of that splash pad.
What was funny, though, was the moms that had their kids there going, "It's freezing today. It's only 81.
And the kids are just, running back and forth.
We were like, wait,
Man,
what?
that water was so freaking cold.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I bet it was in the 50s. I bet it was in the 50s.
The water, yeah.
But the air was like in the 80s, you know. But
It was crazy.
but I mean, so you know, they can handle a little bit colder than we
Yeah.
can. I mean, Lord, they're most of them they're hottest, or not most of them, but many of them, Minnesota, Wisconsin, places like that. Y'all's warmest water temperature
Yeah.
is colder than when we first start swimming.
Exactly.
So I mean, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Y'all got a whole different.
It's a different dynamic. Yeah.
Y'all got
For
the
sure.
whole thing working. But I just wanted to cover that for you guys. You know, just some thoughts. If you're building your pool right now, or you're doing some expansion, doing some extra work, you know, go ahead and oversize. Go ahead and oversize for future expansion, so you're not regretting it later. Because you know, when you're doing stuff like this, when you're building a pool or you're doing a renovation on a
What
pool
was your
or something
motto?
like that.
No regrets.
No regrets, and the last thing I ever want to hear is "I wish I would."
I wish I had done this.
Yeah, I wish
I
I would
hadn't have.
The wish I woulda is the thing that, boy, it just, man, it's instant failure.
Because
You know,
you're canna, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and you're in the pool.
yeah,
and you can't do anything
it's
about
like,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
man, it's too late.
Yeah,
It's too
yeah.
late. You know, we've already shaped the pool this way. Man, we already did not put in a tanning ledge. We can put one in, but dadgum,
We
we're
already
talking a
don't
lot more
have
money.
the bar stools
Yeah,
in the pool.
well,
We
yeah,
already don't
which
have
I don't
the,
like anyway.
Well, but we have clients that want that.
The wish I would is on bar stools is I wish I wouldn't have got bar stools, because those can become a complete pain in the butt. But guys, appreciate y'all listening, and
Yeah.
make sure you check out all our sponsors. We got Fluidra, we got BluRay XL, got Cyclone Filter Tools, and See You Later Stain Eliminator and Metal Eliminator, and Poolworks. If there ain't a Poolworks near you, become the Poolworks near you, and that's POLWERX. Just in case I miss it on the captions, because I
Yes.
always spell it the wrong way.
WERX.
WERX. And drop us a line, deepinfrank@gmail.com. And
We're going to try to do some stuff from the ship.
we're going to try to do some
yeah.
stuff, but send us some emails, ask us some questions, give us some show ideas.
We need to do some listener questions.
Yep, we're probably due for some listener
We're due
questions.
for some listener questions. So.
But make sure you check out our YouTube page. You can find that by searching that's the @ symbol, Deep in Frank. You can find us on TikTok at Deep in Frank. I'm not a big fan of TikTok. I don't do a whole lot on TikTok.
Don't be hating.
But hey, check out our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is doing great. Thank y'all. Thank
Yes,
y'all.
thank
Thank
you,
y'all.
thank
YouTube's
you.
doing really
Yes,
well.
for
But
sure.
we will catch y'all next week, and
Maybe from the ship.
maybe
might do a
we
live.
may do a live from the ship.
may do a live from
Guys,
the
I'm
ship.
trying to get into the swimming pool equipment room on the boat. Pray for me. I'm really fighting for this. I'm trying to get in there. I think that'd be so cool to see what they got
And what they do and who takes care of it. All the things.
It's probably not fancy at all, but
Doesn't matter.
But I mean, I bet people would tune in to see, hey, what's in the back of a
When I go on a cruise ship, what happens?
Where is that? Is that at the bottom? Is that they run that out of the kitchen?
Should I go in the hot tub? What do I do? I don't even know.
But y'all take care. We'll see y'all down the road.
Y'all have a great week.
While you hire